I'd like to share some words of Torah with you. Last week, we began reading the penultimate book of the Torah, and that is, of course, the Sefer Shemot, the book of Exodus. The book that tells the story of a nation, the saga of a people in exile, a people in exile who are redeemed through the hand of Moshe by God. And this week's Parsha begins the famous story of the 10 plagues. The 10 plagues, of course, are preceded by Moshe going to Paro and giving him the following message, which he received from Hashem. The famous 4 words that will never be forgotten. And that, of course, is, let my people go. Does Paro listen? No, not in this week's Parsha. Not until the end of next week's Parsha, upon the threat of death itself. Let's take a close look at the message that God told Moshe when he told him to go tell Paro to let my people go. He said to him, I'm sending you to Paro, but I want to warn you that he's not going to listen. He will not acquiesce to your demands. He will not even humor you. He will not let my people go. And afterwards, I'm going to see to it. I'm going to harden his heart so that he won't even want to let your people go. And then I'm going to harden his heart even more, so that even when he wants to let you go, he will not be able to let you go. Ani aksheh et leiv Paro, I will harden Paro's heart. And of course the question is, a famous question, an obvious question. And that is that the very essence of humanity is built upon the fact that God allows us the free choice, the bechira, to choose between that which is good and that which is bad. To decide to do a mitzvah and decide to do or refrain from doing an Vaeirah. So how is it that God can take away Paro's free will and disallow him the opportunity to choose and decide whether or not he's going to let the Jewish people go? A famous, well-known answer is given, which turns the question on its head. And the following metaphor was given by my Rebbe, Rav Kalevsky, who was the dean of the yeshiva in Ner Yisrael in Baltimore a number of years ago. And he said, very, very simply, imagine a spy. A spy is caught in enemy territory, and they torture him, and they beat him to a pulp. And then just before he goes beyond giving his name, his rank, and his serial number, he's about to spill the beans about the entire operation. They give him a shot of morphine, a shot of magical morphine, a shot of special juice that enables him to feel no pain, that enables him to return his equilibrium back to where it was when he first began. What happens? What do you think happens? Of course, nothing happens. He doesn't say anything. All he gives is his name, his rank, and his serial number. Why is that? Because his sanity is restored to him. Paro, terrible Paro, what happened to him was God restored his sense of equilibrium. He restored his free choice. Imagine, put yourself in Paro's shoes. Dam, Tzvardeya, Kinim, Arov, Dever. The blood, the frogs, the lice, the plague, the wild animals. Each time he's able to overcome and say, I don't care what you're going to do to me. I don't care what you're doing to my people. I am not letting the Jewish people go. And then, of course, what happens? Barod, Arbe, Choshech. Terrible, terrible supernatural phenomena. Terrible plagues afflict Paro and his people. And Paro is saying, you're killing me here. I'm going to let them go. I'm going to let them go. Until God comes along and says, hold on a second. Let's restore you to where you were. Let's pretend you haven't felt any pain. Magical potion. Special morphine. And Paro, feeling nothing, says, you know what? I'm not letting them go. So what God is actually doing is hardening Paro's heart so that Paro's free choice is restored to him so that he can decide, using his own mind and his own heart, about how he's going to face the future with the Jewish people. This is how God treats Paro. that rather than take away his equilibrium, rather than take away his free choice, he gives it back to him so he's back where he started. I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom.